Hello and welcome to the 1:30 p.m. Rakyat Times TV News. I'm Mick Hu. It's true then, what most of us believe all along has been confirmed by an academic authority. Well-known economist and University Malaya Professor of Economics, Tan Sri Dr. Kamal Saleh has said that the new economic policy did not bring any benefits in its first 2 decades. The problem, he said, was not with its intent or content. Dr. Kamal said that the way in which it was implemented created inequality and even accentuated the problem. In fact, he said, it created new inequalities, poverty, and flaws in the development process. The NEP had resulted instead in creating a culture of dependency, corruption, and racial envy. He also said that after the NEP, policies like National Development Policy, NDP, and National Vision Policy, NVP, also failed to address the inequality of income distribution. Well, it would seem, as one commentator has pointed out, that the country needs a more needs-based policy rather than one based on race. On another note, the Negara-Ku People's Movement, that stands for equality, justice, peace and freedom, held the latest in its series of forums in Kota Kinabalu last night. Dato' S. Ambiga, one of the 3 patrons of the movement, had been banned from entering Sabah a few days before the event. However, technology prevailed over mediocrity, for she was able to address the crowd in Kota Kinabalu via a Skype call from Rakyat Times TV studio in Kuala Lumpur.
For me, we are at a critical point. We either do something now, or we are going to have to live with the consequences. We are on a slippery slope, and it is up to us as Malaysians to do something about it. And that's why we have Negara-Ku. Negara-Ku was set up by concerned citizens, and I'm proud to have been invited to be a patron of Negara-Ku. I believe utterly and totally in what it's trying to do, because as opposed to others who are dividing, we want to unite. And we're so happy that Sabah is on board. Is Sabah on board? Yes, Sabah? Are you on board with us? Yes. Well, I'm afraid if our leaders can't do it, the people have to do it. We have to reclaim our nation. We are the ones who have to speak up. Because quite frankly, you know what frightens me sometimes? I think we're getting used to the rubbish that we're hearing on a daily basis. A lot of it is because we're fed up of hearing the same thing. But we cannot stop caring. We cannot switch off. And I know that this kind of talk on a daily basis can dull our senses, you know. The nonsense about Red Indians, I mean, that must be absolutely a classic, which was uttered by the former Chief Justice, that the Malays will be Red Indians in their own country. Nonsense like that. I mean, we hear it so often that we are becoming blasé about it, and that we cannot afford to be. We need to resist it every time it happens. And that's where I feel it is important that Negara-Ku as a movement, which I think appeals to the hearts and minds of all Malaysians. I honestly believe that it is a small group who are promoting this extremist philosophy, and that most Malaysians really want to live in harmony. We want to celebrate our differences. We don't recoil at our differences. We celebrate our differences. And we want to be happy. Isn't that a simple request to our government? Please, government, can you make sure the people of Malaysia are happy?
Well, way to go Negara-Ku and way to go Ambiga. And that was the 1:30 p.m. Rakyat Times TV News. We'll be back tomorrow.